Shelby, welcome in. Hey, Shelby, welcome in. Thank you so much. Hey, Zola Fox. Yeah, you're on YouTube. Doing really good. Good for a Monday night. How was your Monday? Mexi Pina, welcome in. Julia, welcome in. Welcome back. Julia, we've missed you. We haven't seen you in a while. Welcome in, everybody. I don't know what I got on my shirt here. Probably deodorant. It was such a Monday, but we got there, right? Tell me about it. I love you. I love the way you put that. It's been such a Monday. I've been really busy and out of town. Oh, okay. It's good to have you back. There we go. Cleaner. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. We're just waiting for the room to get filled, or 10 minutes after the hour. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. There we go. Zola Fox, now you're back in another dimension. Good, good. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. We have all new fresh titles. We did a library haul over the weekend. So we have all new books. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. We're just waiting for the room to get filled. 20 or 10 minutes after the hour. Oh, let's set up our new goal. What are we going to get today? Let's see. Let's do 3 of these pumpkin lattes. They're worth 10 cents. 10 coins. Let's see if we can get it. Hey, Georgia Peach, welcome in and welcome back. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. We'll just wait for 10 minutes after the hour. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Welcome to those of you on YouTube. A lot of people on YouTube, please join my page. Shelby, thank you so much for those. I really appreciate that. Yay. We got 80% there. Tanya, welcome in. Tanya, you at work? Yay, we made our goal. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can get a new goal here. So we did some lattes. Let's do an October. So we could do 3 of those Octobers. Those ones are like 80 coins. I don't know what they equal, how much they equal each. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. Remember that this Wednesday is Project Wednesday. We will be making ghosts for those of you who were not here yesterday. Play Mass Chat with me. We will be making a Halloween ghosts this Wednesday. Ooh. Ooh. I'm doing that to the people on YouTube. All right. So this Wednesday, you're going to be making a ghost. We have a styrofoam ball that we will be using. We got these at Michael's. think these were only like $2. I purchased them online and then I picked them up later. When you purchase them online, you get like a percentage off, like 20% off. So we're gonna start with the little styrofoam balls. Then you're gonna get your choice of fabrics. Because we love embellishments. We love glitter. And we love fabrics. So these little pieces of fabric were $1. They're $1.99 at Michael's as well. Hey, Ema. Oh, thank you so much for that, October. I really appreciate that. You're going to get your choice of black, purple. If you want to do traditional white, we have traditional white. And then we have a fun pattern. Little hearts. Little hearts. And the best thing about these is that the fabric that you're given in this little square fits completely around this styrofoam ball, so we're not wasting any fabric. And so we're going to be using all of that. It's going to be really fun. Then you're going to get your choice of googly eyes. We have all different colors of googly eyes for our ghost. Then you're going to choose your chenille stem. This goes around the neck, and then we put the beads. And so you're going to get to choose your colored bead pattern. If you want to go with a solid color, you can. You can also do a bead combination. What else do we have for our surprises? Oh. And the last part, you will choose, we can get a permanent marker and write a little message on here, maybe like boo, or Happy Halloween, or Halloween 2025, or you can just glitter it with, you can paint it with glitter. And then we get the adhesive spray and we spray the fabric and then we mold it. So, oh, thank you so much for that, October. I really appreciate that. Let me give you guys a sneak peek of what that looks like. We're going to use tacky spray instead of Elmer's. We're going to use this tacky spray because tacky spray sprays really hard. It sticks really hard. So what you do is you get it, you spray it down, and you mold it. You got to get that tacky spray on it. Ooh, it's got an odor to it. And then you can mold it. Let's do little arms for him. You can make it look like he's going, ooh, he's got his arms up. And he's scaring you. So with a tacky spray, you can mold it and then keep it. Probably won't stick the same way. But as you can see, we've got a little bit more of an active ghost. So that's fun. I like that. It sticks better. Gosh, that tacky spray. This tacky spray is strong. All right, so this is going to be our project for Project Wednesday. Stay tuned. Capricorn, welcome in. Capricorn. All right, we are ready to go. Let's not get that anywhere near the flame, or we will literally burn things down. And we've been known to do that. We've been known to do that. All right, so there's a little ghost back there. Scarecrow's getting in the way, so we need to move. We need to let everybody shine. To let everybody shine. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Let's adjust that. Let me get a drink of this. We're going to start with Frog and Toad. We're going to start with Frog and Toad. We're almost done with the Frog and Toad series. This one's called Shivers. This is a good one for Halloween. The night was cold and dark. Listen to the wind howling in the trees, said Frog. What a fine time for a ghost story. Toad moved deeper into his chair. Toad asked Frog, don't you like to be scared? Don't you like to feel the shivers? I'm not too sure, said Toad. Frog made a fresh pot of tea. He sat down and began a story. Look at those two. Egging each other on. What did he say? He says, Toad moved deeper into his chair. Toad, don't you like to be scared? Don't you like to feel the shivers? Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Yay, we made our goal. Thank you, Shelby. When I was small, said Frog, my mother and father and I went out for a picnic. On the way home, we lost our way. My mother was worried. We must get home, she said. We do not want to meet the old, dark frog. Who is that? I asked. A terrible ghost, said my father. He comes out at night and eats little frog children for supper. Toad sipped his tea. Frog, he asked, are you making this up? Maybe yes, maybe no, said Frog. Frog, starting out with a good story. So here he is with his family. They're in the woods. They got lost. Mom said, we must go home. We do not want to meet the old, dark frog. And then Toad gets really into it, takes a sip of his tea, and says, are you making this up? And Frog says, maybe yes, maybe no. My mother and father went to search for a path, said Frog. They told me to wait until they came back. I sat under a tree and waited. The woods became dark. I was afraid. Then I saw two huge eyes. It was old, dark Frog. He was standing near me. Hey, Victoria, welcome in. They told me to wait until they came back. Mom and Dad went to go look for the path. They told them to wait. Hey, Corey, welcome in. There's the old, dark frog. There's Frog right there. Look at how big the old dark frog is. Huge compared to Frog. Hey, Corey. Frog asked Toad, did this really happen? Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't, said Frog. Frog went on with his story. The dark frog pulled a jump rope out of his pocket. I am not hungry now, said the dark frog. I have eaten too many tasty frog children. But after I jump rope 100 times, I will be hungry again. Then I will eat you. So there's Frog and Toad. Toad's really eating it up. He's really loving the story. And look at their shadows. The scary big dark frog says, I've eaten already, but as soon as I jump rope, I'm gonna be really hungry. The dark frog tied one end of the rope to a tree. Turn for me, he shouted. I turned the rope for the dark frog. He jumped 20 times. I'm beginning to get hungry, said the dark frog. He jumped 50 times. I'm getting hungrier, said the dark frog. He jumped 90 times. I'm getting very hungry now, said the dark frog. Poor frog. He's creating his own demise. Hey, John, welcome in. He's participating in his own demise. Almost at 100. What happened then? Asked Toad. I had to save my life, said Frog. I ran around and around the tree with a rope. I tied up the old, dark frog. He roared and screamed. And I ran away. Look at Frog with his teacup. So he outsmarted him. He tied him around the tree with the jump rope. And then he took off. I found my mother and father, said Frog. We came safely home. Frog, asked Toad, was that a true story? Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't, said Frog. Frog and Toad sat close by the fire. They were scared. The teacups shook in their hands, and they were having the shivers. It was good. It was a good, warm feeling. Found his mother. We never knew if this story was true. And then look at them enjoying tea together. Frog and Toad sat close by the fire. They were scared. The teacups shook in their hands. They were having the shivers. It was a good, warm feeling. The end. A good way to start the West Coast Live. You guys got the Halloween version of Frog and Toad. Halloween version. Frog and Toad. All right, let's take a vote. What do you guys think? 1 through 10. 1 being absolutely not. 5 being and 10 being definitely. Victoria, you give that one a 10? You will a 10? Yeah, I give it a 10 too. That's one of my favorite ones. I love the title, The Shivers. Tanya, 8. I think there's a drink called Shivas. And every time I hear that title, I think of that drink. Stacy, 10. It's a cocktail. All right, what is everybody thinking tonight? John, what's going on in Vermont? What is the weather like? John is our fall touchstone. He lives in the state of Vermont. And you know Vermont is gorgeous during this time of year. So we need fall updates from John. We need to find out what the weather is like. All right, let's go ahead and dig in the stacks and see what we have. You guys are going to be getting all new fresh titles this week. We did yes, Victoria, Fallen in Vermont would be so pretty. We did a library haul. And we get to choose. We get to look at each one of these and see which one we want to read first. This one, I've been wanting to read this one. This one has some really cute illustrations. Every little kindness. Every little kindness. We love a black and white cover with pops of color. This one has red. Little pops of color all over it. Black and white. Dark shadings with some pops of color. Ooh, and look at this end page. We're in for a treat. We're in for a treat. We get this aerial view of this city. (2018). Oh, it's a picture book. No words. We get to make up this story. But look at these great illustrations. If you're going to do a book without words, you got to give us good illustrations. And this one's got good illustrations. So she wakes up in the morning. She hears this alarm clock. 7 a.m. And look at that alarm clock. Just rattling away. How many of us can relate to this? How many of us can relate to this? I've grunted at least 5 times by the time I get to this stage. Ugh. 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 But look at her room. She's got this little light here that's glowing. She's got her little dog. She doesn't look too happy to be up. What are these things here on the ground? Looks like she was doing some projects or looking through some papers at night and then she fell asleep. Now it's time for her to get up. She has her morning cup of coffee. Oh, she brings them. She brings these papers to her. She's having her morning coffee. She loves her dog. She's got dog pictures all over her. She's got her little red glasses. And then she looks at this picture. Maybe this is the one that she's going to choose. Or looking at her facial expression, she looks kind of sad. So maybe she's missing her dog. She gets her stuff ready for the day. She has an apple. She's got a lot on her mind. Whoever this dog is, we don't know who this dog is yet. We're assuming it's her dog. She's going to take it with her. And then look at this city. So she's strolling through, maybe it's Paris, maybe it's France, Germany. Could be, it has to be somewhere in Europe. Could be Connecticut. I'm thinking Paris though, because the way some of these people are dressed. Look how fancy this guy is right here. And then you've got the kids, they're all going to school. Looks like it's gonna be a nice day. You got a cat up there looking down. She's got her comfies, her walking shoes on. She's got a really comfortable outfit for the day. She's got some leggings. It's a leggings day with a big jacket. Oh, and there's somebody there looking out the window. This has lots of details. Got to look out for the details. See what everybody's doing. Then she unravels this picture. Oh, maybe the dog is lost. Maybe we've discovered that the dog is lost. So she's going to look for her dog. She's waiting for somebody to find it. And then she's also taking the red apple out. Maybe she's going to go look for her dog. But as she does that, she's listening to the guy play the guitar. There's a cat. Always have to have a cat in children's literature. Always have to have a cat in children's literature. And then there's a lady walking her little baby there. This tree Looks like they just took a wet paintbrush and just did this. They made the leaves. She walks a little bit further. She looks at the guy who's playing. Oh, she doesn't have any coins. She's looking down at his cup. And she looks at her apple. Isn't that pretty? We love a good red. Oh, and then she gives it to him. She gives him the apple. And then you have this mother and daughter. They're walking around too. Oh, and then this guy spots what she's doing. There's a bakery. A little bun. It's a cute little town. So she's given him the apple. She walks away, and then this guy starts walking away. And you've got this little old lady that passes right by him. The man's walking. This guy looks like he's carrying a can. Oh yeah, he throws the can onto the ground. I like how they showed that. He throws the can on the ground. He picks it up. There's a little kid playing. And then he throws it in. Throws it in the trash can. So even though, if we look back at this title, Every Little Kindness, she's lost her dog. But even though she's lost her dog, she takes her apple and she shows some kindness to the musician. It gives him the apple. And then this guy sees the can, gets thrown on the ground, and then he picks it up and throws it over in the trash can. And then look at the little boy. Maybe the little boy's going to do something. There's some balloons. There's the little boy looking at the guy take off. We're not done with this scene yet. Aww. And then he sees the little girl crying. And then he thinks to himself, oh, what can I do to make her feel better? Oh, maybe she wants one of those balloons. So he goes to the man with the balloons, asks for one, buys one, aw, and then gives it to her. Look at her little hair. His little hat. Kindness. Then you've got the three kids playing in the background. So we've got an apple. Somebody threw trash on the floor. They put it in the trash can. Bought a balloon. And now you have this fancy lady here with her red shoes. I love how red is this like consistent color. So she's walking, she's got her bag there. And then this man finds a key, picks it up, and then gives it to her. Is it her key? And then the girl with the umbrella, the girl walking by, with the umbrella, it starts raining. She opens up her umbrella. She sees this guy who doesn't have an umbrella but a book, and she shares it. Or maybe she's going to give it to him. And then there's this guy looking at them. Oh, she shares her umbrella. And then there's the guy looking at, again, red. He looks around, sees this lady coming, and then he goes and opens the door for her. She's got a red dot. He probably says hello to her, greets her at the door. She comes in, and then the guy passing on the bike with the umbrella. Stops at the flower shop, gets some flowers. Is riding in the park, enjoying himself. Looks like the rain has stopped. Oh, and look here. There's the poster of the girl. She's looking for her dog. He has the flowers, sees the poster of the missing dog. Maybe that's his mom. He's gonna go visit his mom. Gives her some flowers. And then the girl goes off. She says goodbye. Looks like she's got a ball. She goes outside to play. These kids are getting along. This girl seems to be playing with these kids. These two look like they're arguing. Let's see who's looking out the window. Yeah. Oh, they're probably just neighbors looking out the window, seeing what's going on. Aw. He's not feeling, the guy made him feel bad. So she offers him the ball to play. This man's looking at the kids playing outside on the bus. And then he sees this woman standing. Tells her, have a seat. She sits down. And then this guy here, I think we're being guided by the red. Standing there looking, gets out. Oh, he sees the dog. Oh, there's the dog. He clipped the phone number, sees the dog. Oh, there's the girl at the beginning. Remember, she was really upset because she lost her dog. Aww! The kids, everybody's all together in one picture. She's feeling down. She lost her dog. She hears her phone ring. She picks it up. Somebody's found her dog, so she goes running to go look and see. And look at the pond. Blue. Oh, look at how happy she is. Aww, she's reunited with her dog. And then she thanks the guy for finding and calling her. Oh, and then look where they end up at. Back with the guitar player. And then another dog. The end. Every Little Kindness. Was that not a great book? Was that not a great book? This is why we read children's literature. This is why. No words, just pictures, great illustrations for the eye. You get these pops of red that guide you to each page of the story. So interesting, so intelligent, and on top of that, guys, it smells like a old library book. Every Little Kindness. All right, let's take a vote. Frog and Toad storybook favorites. We read The Shivers. And then Every Little Kindness. This one, definitely number 2. Definitely number 2. I really enjoyed that one. In the comment section, let's see what everybody's thinking. Shelby 2. It's a quiet night tonight. It's Monday night. It's Monday night. Tanya 2. Tanya, you're at work. Did I ask you that already? All right, let's look back into the stacks. I hope we can find something that was on the same caliber as that one. Mexipina 2. Because that was a good one. Oh, I want to be behind this one. Oh, you only have 20 minutes left? Okay, good. I'm glad. This one's called What John Marco Saw. Let's see what John Marco saw. We love a good end page. Leaves. Looks like a tree. And you got a big cat. We love a big cat. John Marco had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. They were all bigger than he was, and they were all louder than he was. They all talked a lot. So John Marco, 2 brothers and 2 sisters, louder and bigger than him. There's little John Marco. All the symbols about his brothers. So one played the drums, one played the guitar, soccer, skater, socialite. When John Marco had something to say, like, "Today I saw a big green grasshopper in the yard. Its eyes were all black and bulgy." So when John Marco had something to say, he was describing it. There's little John Marco amongst the big brothers and sisters, big personalities. And it was eating a piece of grass. I could hear it chew like this. So he's describing to his brothers and sisters what he saw. Look at these poppies here, how pretty. Nobody listened. John Marco decided to try his neighbor, Mr. Geordie. Mr. Geordie liked to sit on his porch and read his newspaper. Also, he liked to whistle. John Marco said, "I dug a hole in the mud." So there's John Marco. Nobody listened to his grasshopper story. Brothers and sisters didn't listen to his grasshopper story. So now he's going to go talk to the neighbor who sits at the front, Mr. Geordie. And he says, "I dug a hole in the mud. And I found a bunch of worms and also a rock that had a white line in it. And I think it's a fossil." Let's see if Mr. Geordie listens to Marco. John Marco. You want to see? Mr. Geordie did not want to see. John Marco decided to try his mom. Little John Marco, neighbor didn't want to listen to him. Mr. Geordie was not interested in the fossil that he found. So now he's going to go try his mom. There's the neighbor. He's on a lounge chair. There's his arm. He's whistling away. Little John Marco's face. It's cute. His mom was very busy. She was doing 4 things at once. That's a very mom thing. John Marco said, "A big ol' orange cat came into the yard, and her stomach was almost dragging on the ground. She was so fat." So here's Marco trying to get Mom's attention. Mom's drinking her coffee. She's calculating the weekly expenses. She's making notes for herself and she's reading books. And here comes John Marco to talk to her about the fat cat that he saw. She lay down in the grass and I thought she might like some water. So I put some in a bowl and set it down. And she looked at it, but she didn't drink. So there's the little story that he's telling his mom, who's doing 4 things at once. And she let me sit right next to her. And she closed her eyes and went purr, purr. Look at Mom. Time management. She's exercising too at the same time. John Marco went outside and he sat on the front step. After a while, he got up. He stood on the grass and looked at the tree in the middle of the yard. He looked hard at the tree. It was falling down. It was falling down very slowly, but it was definitely falling down. So he couldn't get anything, he couldn't get a rise out of his mom. Mom was too busy. So he goes outside and sits in the front porch and is looking at this tree, which I think the leaves are falling down. John Marco said, "The tree in the front yard is falling down." Nobody listened. John Marco said, "The tree in the front yard, it's falling down." Look at the animals. Everybody in John Marco's life is too busy. His brothers and sisters came outside. "The tree in the front yard is falling down," explained John Marco. Mr. Jordy looked through the leaves. "What tree?" he asked. So he got everybody's attention. He even got Mr. Jordy, the neighbor. He got Mr. Jordy's attention. Mr. Jordy says, "What tree? What tree are you talking about?" "The tree in the front yard is falling down," yelled John Marco. Good for John Marco. He's not going to let anybody not hear him talk. John Marco's mom came outside. "Trees just don't fall down," she said. "This one does," said John Marco. Yeah, he's got everybody's attention. And then we get no words. We just get a glance in the tree. The tree that supposedly is falling down according to John Marco. The tree ended up falling down. Everybody's looking at it. The sister, she's taking pictures. The cat. Oh, then look at hip hip hooray. The fat old orange cat rolled over. "You people should pay more attention," she said, "like John Marco does." John Marco had one hype man. It was the cat. Yeah, Corey, the pictures on this are really good. And then John Marco, "Hey, look, now everybody's looking." We didn't know. We didn't see Mr. Jordy's face. There's Mr. Jordy, the neighbor, his brothers and sisters. Oh, you see a blue feather here. And then the end page. You see a bluebird flying away. The end. what John Marco saw. You guys are getting really good titles tonight. Really good titles. Very artistic titles tonight. We started with Frog and Toad storybook favorites, The Shivers. Then we read Every Little Kindness. This one is a good one. And we just finished with What John Marco Saw. John Marco, he just wanted some attention. And sometimes you have to get people's attention to get attention. All right, let's take a vote. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, or 3. What is everybody thinking? Corey 2, Shelby 2, Yule 1, Tanya 1. Yeah, good titles tonight. Good titles. Let's look in the stacks and see what we find. I'm a little torn as to which one I want to read, but this one stuck out to me the most. When Otis courted Mama. Oh, when Otis courted Mama. Uh-oh, somebody is not happy that their mama is being courted. And look at this gorgeous end page. Paisleys. We love a good bright paisley end page. We've never seen a paisley end page before. It's always a first. Before Otis, Cardell had a mostly wonderful life. He had a perfectly good mama and a perfectly good daddy. Both his perfectly good mama and his perfectly good daddy adored him. And Cardell adored them too, with good reason. All right, a lot going on in this first paragraph. Before Otis, so we don't know who Otis is. Cardell had a mostly wonderful life. So this must be Cardell right here. And there's Mama. He had a perfectly good mama and a perfectly good daddy. So there's Mama. Cardell's perfectly good daddy made the most fantastic jalapeno flapjacks with just the right amount of saguaro syrup. Yum. He was the master of playing zig the zag across the hot, burning sand without leaving a single paw print. Now, I think this is gonna get sad. So his perfectly good daddy, good cook. He made fantastic jalapeno flapjacks with the right amount of saguaro syrup. Best of all, when his perfectly good daddy howled, the stars shimmered and the moon beamed. Cardell felt loved through and through. I'm loving that name, Cardell. I've never heard that before. The only problem was that Cardell's perfectly good daddy lived in a different part of the desert. Cardell had to share him with his perfectly nice stepmama, Lulu, and his perfectly cute stepbrother, little Frankie. But Cardell was mostly used to it. I love this book. It's about split families. So he had a good dad, but his dad lived across the desert with another family. Besides, he only stayed there part of the time. The rest of the time, he lived on the other side of the desert, where he had his perfectly good mama all to himself. Aw, how sweet. So dad moved on. Dad has a new family. That's stepbrother. Mama, she's still working it. She's still working it on her own. She doesn't want to get into that situation again right away. Cardell's mama was a champion scout. She knew how to hunt down pack rats and chuckwallas. Even the sneakiest rattlesnakes couldn't hide from her. Cardell's tummy was always full. She was also a master artist. She painted the most beautiful sunrises and sunsets. Everyone agreed her paintings were something to see. Yeah. So Cardell's mom, she didn't want to jump into a relationship too quickly. She went to go better herself. So she learned how to, she knew how to hunt down pack rats and chuckwallas. Cardell's tummy was always full. And then she even got into the arts. She was also a master artist. She painted the most beautiful sunrises and sunsets. Best of all, when his perfectly good mama smiled, the moon, the stars, even the planets glowed. Cardell felt warm and safe. Yep, apart from a few sticker burrs and occasional sand fleas, Cardell's life was mostly wonderful. Guys, look at this picture. Aww! We love a good moon in children's literature. It's rare that we get a book about the desert, but anytime we get a book about the desert, it's always a good time. But all of that was before Otis, their new neighbor. Otis came by their den just as the sun was setting, holding a handful of otillo flowers in one paw and a bag full of cactus candies in the other. Cardell felt the grrr from in his throat, but Mama seemed delighted. So Otis is the new neighbor. And they've got this cozy little home. Look at their little fire pit they've got with the little wood on the side there. She keeps a good home, nice and clean. And look at Cardell. He's not too happy because he knows what Otis is all about. This is bienvenidos. Oh, welcome. Before Otis showed up, Mom was happy. Otis wasn't the first coyote to come courting Cardell's mama. First, there had been Claiborne, who was quite a dancer. He and Mama danced all over the mesa. But the more Claiborne danced, the more he slobbered. We can do without Claiborne, agreed Mama. Claiborne. Claiborne loved to dance, but the more he danced, the more he slobbered. Gross. And Mama said, we can do without him. Hey, Lauren, welcome in. Then there was Pierre, who played the accordion so sweetly that even the scorpions swooned. Shelby, she did. Mama got the ick. But talk about conceited. Cardell got tired of hearing Pierre talk about Pierre. Me too, said Mama. These two are in agreement. Pierre, a little bit too much into himself. Hey, John, welcome back. Finally, there was Professor Coot. He was quite distinguished, but he was an expert on everything. The flowers, the rocks, the plants, even the sticker burns and sand fleas. Professor Coat was constantly correcting Cardell. Enough, cried Mama. But now, here was Otis. So Mama had to date a couple of people. Professor Coat, he knew too much. But here was Otis. Look at Otis and his little flowers, his little flower arrangement. I gotta see what it is about Otis that Mama really likes. Otis wasn't at all like Claiborne, Pierre, or Professor Coot. But he also wasn't like Cardell's perfectly good daddy. Otis couldn't make jalapeno flapjacks worth beans. When he played Zig the Zag, he left paw prints all over the hot, burning sand, and his howl sounded like he had rocks in the back of his throat. Cardell expected his mama to say, "We can do without Otis." He waited and waited and waited, but Adios Otis never came. So Cardell went on alert. His fur bristled, his ears lay back, his grrr got louder, and he put Otis on notice. He put Otis on notice. A lesser coyote might have given up, but not Otis. He knew that Cardell was one tough little hombre. So, first, he stirred up a batch of prickly pear pudding. Cardell took a bite. His taste buds hummed. Yum. Prickly pear pudding. So Cardell came with some trick of, or not Cardell, but Otis came with a couple of tricks of his own. He could make a good prickly pear pudding. It also turned out that Otis was a terrific pouncer. He pounced straight up into the air as if he had springs in his legs. Then he came back down fast as a shooting star. Cardell had to admit he was somewhat impressed. Nevertheless, Cardell kept expecting his mama to say, "Adios, Otis." But when those words went unspoken, Cardell's grr stayed put. Guys, look at this picture. His mom, she's saying hearts. And Otis, he's like, doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Then one evening, Otis told Cardell and Mama the funniest stories. Stories about horned toads and chaparrals and little coyotes with big gurs. Cardell couldn't help it. He howled with laughter. Those stories settled on Cardell's fur like a warm blanket. Even the moon seemed to smile. And look at the picture that goes along with that. Isn't that cute? Mama and Cardell, they're happy. Otis is telling his stories. Mama's not getting the ick. Before Otis left that night, he grabbed Cardell's paw and shook it. Coyote to coyote, Cardell's grr got softer and softer until it disappeared all together. I love that picture. A few moons later, Otis asked Mama to marry him. Cardell and Otis waited and waited and waited. The sun rose, the sun set, the stars shimmered in the desert. Finally, all the planets lined up just right. Then, there's Mom. She's taking her time. She is in no hurry. She is in no hurry. Yes, Mama said at last. She smiled the biggest smile Cardell had ever seen. He looked at Otis, whose grin was just as wide. Then Mama and Otis both looked at Cardell, and he smiled right along with them. Oh, Mama finally said yes. After Otis, Cardell still had a perfectly good daddy and a perfectly good mama, a perfectly nice stepmama, and a perfectly cute stepbrother. But now Cardell also had someone else. Otis. We love a good moon in children's literature. This was such a good book. After light and life, sticker burrs and sand fleas aside, it was mostly wonderful. The end. And look at that end page. Isn't that amazing? When Otis courted Mama. This was such a cute book. When was this published? This is a really good book. 2015, 10 years ago. You guys got really good titles tonight. Really good titles. All right, let's take a vote. We started with Frog and Toad. The Shivers. Then we read Every Little Kindness. This one was a really good one. Picture book, no words. Then What John Marco Saw about attention. And then When Otis Courted Mama. This one was a really good. I'm going to go with 4. I'm going to go with 4, 2, 1, and then 3. 4, 2, 1, and then 3. What is everybody's vote in the comment section? We have a quiet night tonight. It's a quiet night tonight. Tie between 2 and 4. Mine's the same. Yeah, Corey, those ones were really good. I agree. Let's put these over here because we have read these already. Yule 4, 1, 3, and 2. So good. Alrighty, friends. Thank you so much for the 10K 1,000 likes. Really appreciate that. Thank you also for the gifts that we received. Really appreciate that. Everyone have a good night and have a good Tuesday. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.